My mom gave my childhood bedroom to my stepbrother, so I gave her landlord the photos she begged me to delete. I'd been no contact with her for almost 2 years when I found out. My cousin mentioned it casually at a family barbecue. Didn't realize it was news to me. Said she'd visited my mom last month and Derek was living in my old room now. His gaming setup where my bed used to be. His posters over the paint I'd picked out when I was 12. I smiled and changed the subject and went home and cried for 3 hours. It felt like proof of everything I'd suspected since she remarried. That I'd been replaced. That her new family mattered more than her old one. That the daughter she raised for 18 years could be erased the second a new son came along. I'd stopped talking to her after the wedding because I couldn't stand watching her play happy family with a man who wasn't my dad. Now she'd literally given my space to his kid. Message received. The photos came to mind around midnight when I couldn't sleep. I'd taken them 2 years ago during my last visit, right before I cut contact. The apartment had looked rough. Water stains on the ceiling, peeling paint in the bathroom, a crack in the kitchen wall that seemed to grow bigger every time I saw it. I documented it because I was worried about her living there. She found the photos on my phone and begged me to delete them. Said she was embarrassed, said the landlord was working on it, said she didn't want anyone seeing how she lived. I told her I deleted them. I hadn't. I found his email on the building's website and attached every single photo without a word of explanation. Sent it at 2 a.m. and went to sleep feeling something close to satisfaction. I imagined the fallout over the next few days. Landlord seeing proof of code violations, mom getting evicted for documenting problems instead of reporting them properly. I didn't know exactly what would happen, just knew it would be bad for her. Knew she'd lose something the way I'd lost my room. It felt like justice. A week later, my phone rang with a number I hadn't seen in months. Mom. I almost didn't answer. Decided I wanted to hear her upset. Wanted to know my revenge had landed. She was crying when I picked up, but not the way I expected. Thank you, she said. I don't know why you finally did it, but thank you. I didn't understand. She said the landlord had been reported to the housing authority. Someone had sent photos documenting code violations he'd been ignoring for 3 years. The city was investigating. Mold remediation, structural repairs, everything he'd promised to fix and never did. Other tenants were coming forward with their own complaints. Mom was being offered relocation assistance to a better apartment while the building was brought up to code. She wasn't being evicted. She was being rescued by photos I'd sent as a weapon. I was too scared to use them myself, she said. Scared he'd kick me out. Scared I'd have nowhere to go. When the inspector said someone submitted evidence, I knew it had to be you. I sat on my kitchen floor trying to process what I'd accidentally done. She asked if we could talk, really talk. Said she understood if I wasn't ready but needed me to know some things. I asked about Derek in my bedroom. She went quiet for a moment, then told me the truth. After my dad left, he cleaned out their savings on his way out the door. Left her with an apartment she couldn't afford and debt she was still climbing out of. She was 2 months behind on rent when Derek aged out of foster care and needed somewhere to go. He offered to help with rent if he could move in. The only room available was mine because I'd been gone for 2 years and wouldn't return her calls. Your things are in storage, she said. Every poster, every photo, every stuffed animal you left behind. I couldn't throw any of it away. I kept thinking you'd come back eventually and want it all. She wasn't replacing me. She was surviving. Derek wasn't her new favorite child. He was a kid who aged out of the system with nowhere else to go, offering to help a woman who was drowning. I'd spent 2 years telling myself a story about being erased. The truth was I'd erased myself. Stopped calling, stopped visiting, stopped giving her any chance to explain. She kept my things in storage because she never stopped hoping. I sent those photos to hurt her and instead I handed her the evidence she'd been too afraid to use. The revenge became the rescue. I moved back to her city last month. Not in with her, but close enough to visit. Derek's still in my old room and that's okay. He's a good kid who found family with my mom the way I never appreciated when I had her. I help with rent now because I should have been there all along. Mom visits every Sunday and we're learning how to be mother and daughter again. It's awkward sometimes. We're out of practice, but we're trying. I meant to burn her life down with those photos. Instead, I accidentally lit the way home.